Hey everyone, Paul Johnson from Waconia, Minnesota, and also part of the Laughing Trail Fly Tying Club. Today I'm going to be tying a new fly pattern to me, which is the Brush Hog. My little bit of research I've done, the only reference I can find for the fly comes from the Driftless Angler in Viroqua, Wisconsin. And also Jason Friend from the Scientific Fly Angler. He's got a little website and a blog. And he lists this as one of his favorite flies. And I know some folks in our Laughing Trail Fly Tying Club really like this fly. So just go through it real quick and then we'll get tying. So I'm tying it on a size 16 jig hook. This is a fire hole. I have a 2.3 millimeter gold tungsten bead. The tail is some Coq de Leon. The body is a mixture of light hare's ear dubbing mixed in with some tan UV ice dubbing, and then the collar is super bright dubbing in peacock. Jason in his, and I also think from the Driftless Angler, they like to put a little bit of purple, maybe a purple collar, or mix in a little bit of purple ice dubbing in the mixture. So let's get started. I already have the hook on a bead. If you're not familiar with jig hooks and slotted beads, you gotta sometimes twist that bead around to get it to orientate itself correctly on right down to the eye of the hook. I've just had some 14-aught dark brown thread. Thread color isn't going to matter a whole heck of a lot because you're going to cover it up with dubbing anyway. I've got a small clump of the Coq de Leon. Reading Jason's blog, he thinks it's more of a crane fly imitation. And with that, he doesn't put a tail on. If you don't have Coq de Leon, some pheasant-tailed fibers will work just fine. That tail is maybe a touch too long, but we're going to go with that. Clip the excess off. For ribbing, I just have I like red wire. I think it stands out good with that dubbing on the body. So I'm just going to tie in a length of red wire size brassy. You can see that jig hook has pivoted out of its position. Just a little bit of dubbing. And we want to put a taper in this fly from back to front. So we're going to end up putting dubbing on 2 or 3 times to get the profile correct on the pattern. So you just start building that up. And don't get you don't want lumps or bumps, but don't get too concerned with how things look, because I'm going to take a brush and brush it out when we get done here anyway. Get that bead back in position. Okay, so that's looking pretty good right there. And just make even space wraps. You'll get, depending on the size fly, 4 or 5 wraps of wire. I'll get 5 out of this one. The Driftless Angler, I think they like this down to even a size 18. So smaller on this fly might be a little bit better than bigger. Like that. And now a little bit of that super bright dubbing. It's a Wapsi product, super bright dubbing, and the color is peacock. You could use peacock ice dub as well, but I don't like using that. It's coarse. It's hard to get to stick on the fly or on the thread for a nice dub body. So this super bright dubbing, a little bit softer. It's got really good color to it, and it's easier to work with. So there we go. We'll do a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. A little bit of that peacock's a little bit too long. We'll clip a little bit of that out of there. And then with dubbing brush, just kind of come in and brush that out a little bit, like you would on a gold ribbed hare's ear. So there it is, the finished brush hog. Thanks to our friends at the Driftless Angler in Viroqua, Wisconsin. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.